Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber. And we're Witches Talking Tarot.
And today we're going to be discussing my personal favorite. Well, one of my personal favorite.
Yeah, me too. It's got two of my goddesses.
Right. Well, it's got three of mine, I guess. Now
it does. Yeah. It has, okay.
So we're going to be discussing Hades and Persephone. And we're not just going to be talking about the kidnapping version. There's a couple.
There's several versions, and Demeter was my first goddess, so, I'm excited about this because this tale is why Demeter was my first goddess. I am just a mother through and through. Even when I was a child, I was a mother through and through, apparently.
Demeter's right.
Yeah, I was like, this bitch is willing to do anything for her kid.
So I'm not gonna lie, my first thought when I read the myth, mine was not, oh my god, Demeter's a boss ass bitch. Mine was, Hades is fucking hot. And you know what? I feel like he gets that a lot.
I'm sure there was that part of me too. But this myth is why Demeter was my first deity that I felt a calling to. Now, granted, Hestia also, but in my head, I mixed them two together. If you remember,
I think a lot
one of the first times you and I ever met, we were talking, and I called Demeter the goddess of the hearth and home, as well as the goddess of corn and the fields.
I think we were at a Hestia ritual, with the fire.
Yeah, we were, and that was the first time I met Bryson. Yeah, and so in years later, I realized I have mixed Hestia and Demeter in my head, which is why I wanted to make an altar on my hearth and dedicate it to Hestia. And my husband was like, "You mean another place in the house that nobody can touch? Put stuff on?"
My husband loves Hestia. It's every time
my husband hates
barbecue.
Getting in trouble for putting shit on my altars.
They do.
He puts fucking mail on it,
mail.
Aphrodite does not care.
McDonald's cup.
Yep.
It's what the fuck is this? Yeah, I get that.
Anyway.
I cannot say that I am not guilty of putting something on my altar and forgetting about it, but not all the time.
Right. Well, and I try to avoid putting my mail. I would put my makeup on my Aphrodite altar, and I thought, well, that makes sense.
Right.
I'm gonna store it here, and it's Aphrodite, so it makes sense. I put my jewelry on my Aphrodite altar for the same reason. Yeah, but because of that friction is why I have the wall altars now. But yeah, I can't make a Hestia altar on my hearth like I want to. But anyway, yeah. But Hades definitely got the whole romantical thing going on in this story.
I know.
I mean, depending on how you read it, and we read it.
And I'm so tired of people being no, Hades not romantic. Hades
kidnapped a little girl.
Let me live.
No, look. Okay, these are the gods. Okay? These are the fucking gods. It works a little different.
Also, I'm pretty sure Hades didn't cheat on Persephone, or if he did, it was only one time.
Did he?
I can't remember.
I can't imagine him cheating on her.
I feel so bad for Hades because he's just trying to do his fucking job. He's just, not necessarily James Wood from fucking the Hercules movie, but he's just trying to do his fucking job. He's just living his life.
I forgot James Wood.
He was the one that talked for him. Oh my god.
I forget.
And why the fuck is Hades always the bad guy? He's the bad guy in Clash of the Titans.
Because people are afraid of death.
Right, well, the real bad guy's I think you and I both know who it is. I just don't want to say it, and at least I get smited. Yeah!
That doesn't count. You don't know what I did. If you're watching on YouTube, you can guess. Maybe you can tell.
They probably all can tell, but like I said, I don't want to get smited. Or
right, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't. I don't want to get swanned or smited.
Well, I don't know.
I just went to write down Demeter for our casting, and I put a B because I'm dumb. So, do we want to get right into the casting? I didn't need to. I wrote a B, and then I was like, God, I'm stupid.
For Demeter, you keep saying mom, and part of me saying the mom on that Schitt's Creek. What is her name?
Catherine O'Hara.
I love her. her. Is that her name?
Yeah, that's Catherine O'Hara, and she's also the mom from Beetlejuice.
Yes,
so I'm like,
yes.
I can dig it. I can dig it for my Demeter. And like her hair, like, because her hair's all wavy, and I totally think of Demeter with like amber waves of gray hair,
right.
like totally waving hair. Catherine O'Hara. I am hair. I love Catherine O'Hara.
I still like Keanu Reeves for Hades. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who I would cast.
I was trying, like, there was somebody that I saw that I thought, like, would be a good Hades, and now I cannot remember now that
maybe
it's time.
Michael B. Jordan in an unusual sort of casting. You don't know
who
him?
that is. Like, off the top, what's
He played in, like, that Fahrenheit something. Oh, he's Creed. From the movie Creed. Apollo Creed's son.
Oh, okay. Apollo Creed. Sorry, I was like...
He's not Apollo Creed, he's his son.
No, I know. You said Creed, and all I could think of was the band, and I was like, what the fuck movie is
I thought
called
you were going to say, like, The Office.
No.
That'd be weird.
That would be funny. I still like Keanu for Hades. I do
too. He
it
just
has
with
to
his
be
beard, it's got to be Keanu. I totally agree.
So I have Persephone, Demeter, Hades. Zeus comes into play at least in one of these, so we want to cast Zeus.
Just me. I could see the Arnold Schwarzenegger version. I mean, I think I sent you pictures of that. I was surprised at how good he looked at just Zeus. I
never, like, as I've said in previous episodes, Arnold is never my Zeus, but for the sake of allowing Arnold to be a Zeus in an episode, I have no objection.
Have I said that multiple times?
Yeah.
Okay, I've
sorry. Objected, so I will stop objecting.
I think my go-to is Liam.
Because I love the idea of Arnold and Demeter, Catherine O'Hara going back and forth in some of these scenes that we're gonna get to.
The voices. Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny.
I'm just writing Arnold-esque because I don't know how to.
Let's not.
I don't want to write that shit down.
The hardest one to cast would be
Persephone. But is there anybody else like? So are we going to cast the naiads in any way that... I can't think of anybody else that comes into play other than the naiads in the one story.
I can't think of anybody either.
But I do want to cast the naiads because I now have a great fun little... It's fun to be fun with the casting. I have fun with the casting. It's the fun part, right?
So
guys?
Naiads are inherently like sexual and very pretty, right?
I don't know how sexual, but I guess they're the water, like, they can't go far from the shore because they're, like, connected with the water, so they have to play with her, and that's, anyway, part of the plot. So I would say they are kind of inherently pretty, as we've talked about previously in our mermaid episode, how they are very enticing and alluring to the men. Yeah, probably, but... If you think about what their punishment is, I would say, like, inherently sexual does apply, like, 100%
Okay, so I guess I would say...
Because I'm thinking of, like, a group of girls, like, I don't know, I've never actually seen the movie Bridesmaids, but I'm thinking, like, an entire cast of, like, some kibitzing ladies from, some movie, you know what I mean? Like Mean Girls or... the girls from Can't Hardly Wait or the girls from Head Over Heels.
You say that, and my first thought was like, oh, it's got to be Megan Thee Stallion. We got Nicki Minaj. We got Cardi. Like, as a
fuck yeah.
Oh no, we don't. I mean, yeah, I would have.
But it works if you think about their punishment.
Right.
Yes.
And okay, so gorgeous,
is there a name for? Should I? Like,
I just said female rap group. That's what I would call them because that includes Cardi, Nicki, Megan. I don't know who the fuck else.
Love it. I'm down. Like, we can even get like some old school, like the TLC ladies and the SWV ladies. Because
what the fuck is her name?
Mary J. Blige. Yeah, like all of them. I love it because like we're gonna get to the stories and that you'll see why it's fun.
And playing
and they're with Persephone. Picking flowers. Anyway, okay, so Persephone.
So this
like she's so this is a hard one, but. Do you know what young Liv Tyler looks like with the great big blue eyes and like the almost black hair that's like
I do not.
So gorgeous glass look. Yeah, look up Liv Tyler from Empire Records because that is exactly who I see as Persephone. I was also listening to the Quantum Recast episode of movie I just said? Empire Records this past weekend because Rex Manning Day happened, which is a big thing in the movie. So anyway, so it was all over Twitter, and Kelly Madden from Drunk Theory has this whole fun like podcast scavenger hunt thing that I've been participating in, and maybe Classiest Witches, i.e. Witches Talking Tarot, will win some stickers out of it.
You said Liv Tyler?
Liv Tyler, Steven Tyler's daughter.
Oh, bitch, the girl from never
Lord
mind.
of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings. That's what I said. Okay,
yeah,
absolutely.
but like because of in Empire Records, she's so much younger even, and like she has this innocent vibe.
I had no idea that was Steven Tyler.
Oh yeah, that's Steven Tyler's daughter.
She's like
her mom was like one of the original groupies, and I say that with all the love in the world. I wanted to be a groupie. That probably makes me sound bad. Don't judge. But okay, Liv Tyler, I love it. I love Liv Tyler.
Absolutely. Like, I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. She used to be in all the Aerosmith videos, too. Wait, crazy. No, my bad. Well, she used to be in the Aerosmith videos with Alicia Silverstone.
I like Alicia Silverstone, too. Mm-hmm. I like her in
I love
Lord
this
of the
cast.
Rings.
Like, can you imagine Catherine O'Hara calling to Liv Tyler, like, I miss you. I love this cast.
I know, I do too.
This is a beautiful cast. All right, so before we get into the story, just for everybody, our cast is the maiden Persephone is Liv Tyler.
Circa 1995.
Yes, absolutely. If you know what her big blue eyes looked like back then. Although, she's got huge blue eyes as the Erwin. Am I saying? Okay, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if I was remembering.
Gorgeous.
It right.
She has a very nice mouth, and I mean that in a not weird way. I mean, I want to be attracted to her father. I am attracted to her. She is she is my type. She's got the blue eyes and the dark hair. And it's a thing. That's my thing.
Yeah. And then our Demeter is Catherine O'Hara. Whether you want Catherine O'Hara from Schitt's Creek or Beetlejuice, either way you slice it, she's the mom. She's the mom. Hades is Keanu Reeves because he is Hades. Zeus is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Picture the beard and everything.
Right. Check out the Super Bowl commercial.
And our naiads from one of these stories, at least, are the female rap group Cardi B, SWV, TLC,
Nicki, and Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes. Is Zendaya an actual rapper? Because I do know who that is. She used to be on a Disney Channel show that the girls watched.
She did used to be on a Disney Channel show, but that was after my time. I just remember her.
The girls watched it. That's why because I saw something and I recognized the girl. I was pretty sure. And it said Zendaya, which I remember you've brought up in casting before. And so I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the girl from the Disney Channel show. And I wanted to ask you. But I didn't know if she was a rapper or what she was now.
She's just she's an actress. She's in Euphoria, and she plays in the new Spider-Man. She's not Mary Jane, she's MJ in the new Spider-Man. Which I was very surprised by that. But she's not Mary Jane, she's a different variant of that
character.
Yes. I think her name's like it's I don't fucking know. It's
whatever.
something
It's cool.
J.
Yeah. No worries. Okay, so she's not a rapper, so she doesn't get in. Sorry.
I don't mean to, she is a singer. No, but she's a singer.
Oh, she is a singer.
She's not a rapper, but
she is a singer.
She kind of gave that up for acting.
Oh, okay.
But she did sing.
Okay, so she does fit still. So, okay. All right, Zendaya, you finally made it into the cast.
Oh my God, I saw a funny meme of her and Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man. It was like, I hope when they get married that Tom Holland takes Zendaya's last name, so his name is just Tom.
That's so funny, but I think it was a picture of her with Tom Holland where I saw her and it said Zendaya, and I was like, oh, that's the girl from the show that the girls used to watch.
They're the funniest fucking couple. I mean that in the most
nice way.
The nice way, because she's so like big and like powerful, and he's like little. It's just funny how they work, like how they do their thing. The memes are really funny.
So, now that you can picture the cast, we'll give you the story, right?
Right. So which one do we want to start with? I wrote cave first, flowers, basic version, Zeus. Which one?
Do you want to tell the cave, then I'll tell the narcissist, and then we'll go into basic version?
Okay. So there's a version of the story where instead of Persephone being kidnapped, while she's frolicking and playing in her meadow, she stumbles upon a cave and she walks inside and she keeps walking and then she's like, whoa, what's this? She gets to the underworld and she's like, this is a nice place.
What's up, Sharon?
Right.
You come here often?
Right, literally. I think I'm gonna chill. You know what I mean?
I think I'm funny, guys.
Well, that's pretty much what happened, and then she just hangs out there, and Demeter's like, "Hey, you need to come home," and she's like a typical teenager, and was like,
So Hades had nothing to do with this version.
she kind of just fell in his lap,
and she was like, "You cute."
Yeah, pretty much.
And then Heart Magic Man starts playing in the background. He's got magic hands.
Oh my god! And Hades is like,
Come
I'm
on
fucking
home, girl,
scared.
Mama said with a smile.
This is not gonna end well.
I'm sorry, like I literally hear Heart playing right now.
Right, and no, I don't know the origin of that one. I just happened to read it, so maybe it's not legit. Maybe it's I don't want to say fan fiction, but maybe it's somebody else's headcanon. But I'm pretty sure it has something to do with like the Roman tale.
Right. Well, and like, I don't know where this one came from, but the one that, the one with the flower, the narcissist, seems to be like an expanded version of just the basic one.
Right.
Yeah. So, in the cave one, is Hades like just down with her coming?
No,
or is he like,
I think he's like,
you need to go home, little girl? And she's like, that makes you sexier.
I think he's just shocked.
He's shocked Keanu.
He's
Can
like,
you picture it?
What do I do now? She's
expressionless face.
This is a nice place. You know what I mean? Like, and then
is the pomegranate involved at all in the cave
it
story?
is. You know what? I have no fucking clue. I just know the opening.
Was just curious.
Of the No, it's okay. I have no idea. I just know the beginning.
Yeah.
because
I assume that like when you were gonna tell me the cave story, that like Hades put the cave there for her to walk into. But he's not a part of that.
She literally just walked in.
She just found her way.
Right.
Love,
and it was like, I'm pretty sure this is just like Persephone taking, this is why I'm like, part of me is like, maybe it's not as legitimate as like a myth, but as somebody who like, in the distant past had decided, no, I'm going to make it like this, because then
I like it.
I'm pretty sure now that you mentioned the pomegranates that Persephone willingly ate the pomegranates because she didn't want to go with her mom in the first place, so she was trying to eat them really fast, but then Hermes or whoever comes in.
I learned about the pomegranate thing, for this. So apparently, old custom was, like if you were a slave or a visitor to a land, if you ate food from that land, or fruit specifically, I'm not sure, you were obligated to go back regularly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
awesome.
That's
where that comes from.
That's where that comes from. Yeah, I was like, that's why I was like, I forgot about that until you said about she was trying to eat them real quick. But yeah, that comes from like an actual custom, which, can you imagine as a slave being like, I had to eat, so now I have to come back even after I've gained my freedom?
Damn, that sucks.
Like, that sounds shitty.
That does suck.
Like, that's a shitty custom.
That sucks.
Old-timey people. No.
We can say that about so many things.
I know. I'm just like, not cool, bro. Like, you're pretty uncool, guys. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just realized.
The ancestors are floating around and they're like, well, fuck you too.
No, please keep my car on the road. I love you guys. I'm sorry. I meant the other old-timey people.
So the flower one you said is a little bit more, it's pretty much like the same
basic, right. So it's like, it's the same version, but with more detail, right? So, okay. So Demeter and Persephone are they're just like on regular Earth. And Demeter is drawn to get her, go check out the crops, because it's whatever time of year it is. I guess it's springtime because they're in the field of flowers, so it has to be spring or summer, right? So she's going to check out all the crops and whatever, and she's been drawn because In this version, Hades has Gaia assisting him in bringing Persephone to him in the underworld. So Gaia has like enticed Demeter off to see all these glorious crops that are growing to leave.
I can see her walking through the crops.
Exactly.
And the wind is like it is outside right now.
Right, and Catherine O'Hara's like wavy hair is just like going in the wind. And she looks like she blends in with the corn and my goddess.
I love the sound of wheat in the wind.
Oh, yes.
I drove by a wheat crop. I didn't even know we had wheat crops around here. Usually it's mostly corn.
And there's a lot of soy and sorgum too.
Oh,
the sorghum's beans, gorgeous.
You know,
it looks like little colorful corns.
Oh yeah. So we were in. We actually found a bobcat on this time, which was so fucking weird. We were just driving, and then I was like, there's a fucking dog in the road. I stop. It's not a fucking dog. It's a bobcat. In the middle of the day, which is weird. And it ran off into the corn. And so, you know, we back road sometimes. We came across this beautiful fucking wheat field. And the sound of the fucking wind, it just makes, it's almost like a wind chime. It's fucking gorgeous.
I love it. I mean, I love all of those fields, like wheat, corn. I just think they look so pretty. Oh, yeah. I love the way that, like, things move in them. And when you walk through a cornfield, you see that weird, like, like
be careful you don't get cut.
Yeah, or lost.
Oh, yeah, lost is a thing, too.
I'm a Children of the Corn watcher, so...
Well, when I think of it, I think, running through the cornfield. You see on TV, I'm like, you know they cutting the shit out of themselves. That shit's like paper.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You come out of it and you just fall apart like in a cartoon.
Oh my God, I'm dead ass. And like, I guess, I maybe it's because where we're at, but like, there are times when I'm driving by fields and I'm like, damn, it's a bad season this year. You know what I mean?
I do too. I do too.
So I'm like, this rain is not good.
Not good. Yeah.
And it's so
and then
sad.
I feel like an old person.
Sometimes I see really stunted ones, and I'm like, oh, that farmer.
Well, and see, that's where I say sorghum looks like colorful little corn. Mm-hmm. I thought this field of sorghum was like corn that wasn't doing too well.
Right.
And I found out it was sorghum.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because it's like about this tall, and instead of having like the goldish color, it's more of like a reddish gold instead of like the yellow gold.
Okay.
Like sometimes it's almost a brown
color.
And
is that for cows? Do you know?
I don't know what sorghum. Well, I don't know what sorghum's for off the top of my head, honestly.
I saw a funny ass meme where this guy took this girl on a date to like a cornfield, and she was like, "Is this real corn?" And he's like, "Yeah." And the bitch took like 3 fucking heads of corn and put it in her purse to take out. And everybody's like, "Bro, that's cow corn. That's what you feed the cattle. That's not like good corn." I
feel like I saw that. Was that a movie?
No, it was a meme I saw.
I feel like I've seen that out of something where they like just pick the corn. I don't know.
There's no way they're gonna put you in a fucking cornfield.
I don't know.
Like in a maze with profitable corn. That shit's going to the cattle.
True. Yeah.
It's hard and it's not sweet.
That's true. This is true. This is very true. Just like in Freddy vs. Jason, the cornfield those teenagers were partying in was probably cow corn.
Cow corn.
Which is why the farmer was not bothered by
corn, by the way, just gonna throw that out there. Corn is very bad for the cow's stomach.
I did not mean to laugh. I just wasn't expecting that. I necessarily know that.
No, it's so bad for their stomachs. It is like grass and like hay and shit like that is like the best diet for cows.
Well, I mean, we expound just as many calories digesting corn as we take in from corn, so I can understand that an animal that needs 4 stomachs to digest grass, probably not great with corn.
I won't give my son corn because I'm not about to change that diaper.
Oh my God, corny diapers. Oh, we won't go there.
I'm not going to do that shit. But anyway.
So Gaia has, she's enticed Demeter into the fields, right?
Yes.
And so Demeter is walking through being all holier than thou, Catherine O'Hara. We love you, Catherine. I did not mean holier than thou in a bad way. This is Demeter I'm talking about.
Right,
so anyway,
she's a goddess, of course.
She's a goddess, and she's Demeter, so she's all
literally holier than
thou. Exactly. Like, she's like, I brought you crops, worship me. Right. And I can see Catherine O'Hara doing that. Little Persephone, Liv
she's
Tyler.
Like Little Mermaiding it.
Right?
Right?
And Persephone's over in this field, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Beautiful flowers, and she's with the naiads that Demeter's been like, hey, watch her. And they're all like, we got this.
They're like, hands on my knees, shaking.
Yeah, you gotta do the rap. I can only like, don't go chasing waterfalls, Persephone.
Persephone, that's so funny.
Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to.
Oh my god, that's
I don't
hilarious.
remember any SWV songs. Sorry, girls. All I can do is TLC in this rendition of our naiads. So they're supposed to keep an eye on Persephone. Well, again, Gaia's been enlisted in this version to assist Hades. So she creates this beautiful yellow narcissus growing out of...
Gaia's kind of like on some shit, like no.
She is. She gets him. I said it in that one. She stirs the fucking pot. She does. I love you, Gaia. She stirs the pot. You got a big pot to stir, girl. Anyway, so she's got this beautiful narcissus growing. Persephone's drawn to the fragrance of the flower. When she pulls it up, which I guess like historically or in myths, narcissus is a hard flower to pick, because in what I read, it was like she struggles to pull the flower out, and once she pulls it out, there's a hole left in the ground. Well, that hole just starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and Persephone's like, big blue eyes, Liv Tyler, black hair, like hanging down, like what the fuck? And she doesn't even have time to run. The ground just opens up and she goes down into Hades. Okay. And then
Hades catches her.
And Hades catches her and he's like, hey, you're my wife. And Demeter comes back and she's like, where the fuck's my kid? And she says to the naiads, like, hey, what the fuck? And one naiad in particular had tried to save her because like she saw that Persephone had gone off, and she tried to get to her, but they can't go too far from water, and she was not able to. So as punishment for them not saving Persephone, Demeter tells these naiads, like, bitch, y'all got some plumage now and you got scaly feet. Go off to these rocks. And she made them into the sirens, which is why it makes sense to have our female lyrical group as the naiads, because they get cursed by Demeter for failing to babysit Persephone well enough. And now they are the sirens who lure men to their death, which is why I said, like, even if they're not inherently sexual, it would make sense if they are.
They'd be singing their sexual songs.
Right.
That's so funny. Get a bucket and a mop.
Don't want no scrub.
Oh my god. So I like the one where Zeus is involved versus Gaia. They kind of have like a very similar role.
Yeah.
But it's like where Hades comes to Zeus and petitions for Persephone's hand, and Zeus is like, okay. And so when Hades comes to collect,
that sounds terrible.
Zeus is, well, it sounds terrible, but also historically accurate.
Accurate.
Right?
Accurate.
So, you know, that's when Demeter's like, what the fuck? Somebody stole my kid. Like, why the fuck did Hades steal my kid? She goes up to Zeus and he's like,
Catherine O'Hara's up in Arnold's face.
I can't get her back, you know? Like, I said that they could get married.
She will not be back.
You have to deal with it, Demeter.
I just picture Arnold.
I gave him my word. It's funny because we were actually watching Last Action Hero.
Takes off the black sunglasses. I cannot go back on my word.
We were watching Last Action Hero last night. My husband doesn't like it. He's like, it's for kids. I'm like, it's amazing.
But it's
also
good.
That guy with the eye, the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's fucking Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. He's just really young.
Oh yeah.
He's just really young. I had no idea he was a redhead. I've only seen him with gray hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking of the other bad guy from Last Action Hero, the creepy dark-haired one. He's like got a receding hairline. I don't know.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I did not picture the other guy. So
no. I looked that guy up. I have no idea who the fuck he is.
Yeah, he's creepy.
Is he always creepy?
To me.
Like, he's weird.
Creeps me out. Just like
Jack
Ron Perlman.
the Ripper.
Jack that's what it was. Just like Ron Perlman always creeps me out. He creeps me out. But when I grew up, he was Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, I want to see that!
Original Terminator chick, Sarah Connor. I can't remember the actress's name. Sarah Connor.
I've seen that on YouTube for free. So
it's interesting.
But that's not romantic. That doesn't.
No, I mean it is, but his face still freaks me out because he was the Beast.
When I
saw him without makeup, I was like, he kind of looks like a monkey. He's the missing link.
He has a weird face.
He has like the missing link kind of face. Like he's what was between monkeys and us. Like Ron Perlman and this. Ron Perlman and this guy I went to high school with. That called me because my ex-girlfriend was a bitch and put my name on the bathroom wall.
That's funny. Yeah. It's like the mouth and nose area. But when I hear Ron Perlman, I think of Sons of Anarchy. And damn. Yeah,
he's redeemed from that, but young Amber just sees him as like he was also, I feel like, a bad guy in a lot of 80s stuff. So
I imagine. I mean, he's a bad guy in Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, is he? I keep wanting to check it out. I
have watched the first couple episodes. Okay, please, bitch. Okay, guys, trigger warning. I know I normally don't do that, but and also spoiler warning. I've only watched the first 4 episodes of Sons of Anarchy. I want to finish it. It's fucking amazing. Basically, they're like a anarchist group that runs this town. Well, this guy ends up raping a little girl. So the dad goes to the bikers and he's like, "Get him," and they cut his balls off.
Fuck yeah,
they leave him. It's so cool. They're
good for them.
First, they're not super bad guys, but then also Ron Perlman's a bad guy, kind of leads them on away from the
being vigilantes
to being shitty drug dealers. But yeah, I mean it's really good. But I like the vigilante version of it. But I like a good vigilante.
I know.
So. I've said that many a times, I think, in this podcast.
Yeah. I mean, at least to me you have. I don't know if it's been on the podcast, and I'm the Debbie Downer who I'm well, it depends on how far you take it. It
depends, yeah. We don't want to go all law-abiding citizen on it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
At what point is that? But,
right.
They cut off that guy's balls, and it was so cool. I mean, it was super cool, because,
you rape a little kid, that's what should happen.
And the dad came with them. And was they're like, there you go, or some shit. I think they did it for free. He was gonna pay them, and they're like, no,
this is on us.
Yeah, it's
this motherfucker really needs to be put down.
I hear it gets a lot different than that, because again, that's only the first 2 or 3 episodes, and it changes a lot, which makes sense, but. They're called Sons of Anarchy for a reason. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. No, I mean, that makes sense. But, I mean, everybody's got to go through character and plot development anyway. You can't have a show on for X amount of years and not have anything change.
The Walking Dead. That makes me sad. But it's true. After, season 5, it really started.
Yeah. It did. It went downhill. I stopped after they tricked me.
With Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was... I stopped...
Dude, I was a diehard fan. I watched every episode on release day, you know what I mean?
The first, 5 seasons are fucking awesome, where they go
from... And our diehard fans that listen to us on release day, we appreciate you.
Right. It was a family thing. So we would watch, Season 1 through Season 5, fucking amazing character development. You got Rick, he's kind of a little bit of a pussy, but they all are, because it just became, Then you got Season 2, they're farmers. Then you got Season 3 and 4, my personal favorite, when they're in the prison. And then, I'll say it, I think Season 5, I think this was Season 4, Season 5, Rick... He was pretty cool. He kind of lost his shit. Because in the first couple seasons, he was I want to be a good guy. And then Season 4 came around, they lost so many people. And he's you can't be a good guy. Yeah, and he Yeah. Great plot development. Then we get to Season 5, and then it's down.
Yeah, I was gonna say it all runs together for me at this point. I haven't watched it for so long, and anytime I've thought about going back to start over and watch from the beginning, I'm just but what's
the point? I love those ones, but then it's an unfinished story because I don't want to watch the rest. Negan comes around and Rick's kind of a bitch.
Yeah,
Rick is kind of Negan's little bitch.
Yeah. Like I said, I might have kept watching if they hadn't tricked me, but like, they're no South Park. You can't trick your audience like that and have them all.
Yeah, well, I think it was, in my head, I feel like I knew it was a trick because you're not going to tell everyone, oh, our biggest cast member is dying off this season or this episode. Yeah. Or he's not going to be on there anymore. Yeah. Why would you spoil that?
Yeah. Truth, but I didn't. I was just like, what? This is how it ends? And this is how it ends?
They killed Carl.
Oh, yeah.
That was fucking dumb. That was, I didn't like Carl. He was a little bitch. Like,
Carl got on my nerves from day one.
He's like, I could do it, Dad.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, God, shut the fuck up. But he got humbled real quick, and after that, he was alright. But,
yeah.
Merle was my favorite character, and he fucking died, so that was really shitty.
One of my favorite characters was, the old man. Herschel, yes!
Herschel was such a good guy.
I loved Herschel.
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
I love me some Glenn, too. Like, I get that you had to kill him off,
Merle.
But damn.
I guess I shouldn't call him my favorite character. I liked his character development in the end. He ends up dying for them.
Yeah.
Also, I like that fucking actor.
Yeah,
He's a fantastic actor. He don't like me too much.
I know, that's why I started laughing.
He don't like me. He blocked me.
I still say it was his woman. She gave him a list of words. If a woman says these things to you, block that bitch.
So upset
or we're done.
About it. Like, what did I do? Like, it wasn't like I was obsessive.
You said you loved him as an actor.
I was
that
like,
was it.
I love you.
She was like, I don't need no competition. Block him.
Wow. The whole situation got me fucked up. Because, like, damn, I told Gordon Ramsay I loved him, and he didn't block me.
Right? I was going to say, like, The Offspring, they were, like, they weren't my first official, like, Twitter follower, but they were the first one I cared about. They were my first blue check mark that I cared about. Right. And it was because at the time, I used all Offspring songs as ringtones for the girls, so if one of the kids called me, it was an Offspring song, because The Offspring, they're my offspring. Oh, and I guess The Offspring thought that was funny enough, they followed me.
They're like, LOL.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I just got my first verified follower that I care about, because it wasn't my first verified, but it was the first verified that I knew who they were.
I don't know why Gordon Ramsay followed me. I don't know. I
got so excited about The Offspring, and I periodically, just so that I'm not talking out my ass, I periodically double check that they still follow me.
I do the same thing.
The last time I checked, they still followed me. Because I also had tagged them in the same week that they followed me. I had tagged them in a post, so maybe they saw both things in the same day. Yeah. It was both posts, I don't know. But it was like, when I was a teenager, the only time I ever went to summer camp, the only time I ever stayed away from my parents I went to visit my aunt once when I was 11, and I went to visit my grandma when I was 14. But other than that, I went to Dare Summer Camp with my friend Christy when we were like 12 because it was cool. When I say dare, I do mean like dare to be against drugs or whatever, like Dare Summer Camp. So like, in addition to other regular summer camp things, you had anti-drug class. Which was
it like, you said it was like a sleepaway camp?
Yeah, it was
I can't believe they
camp.
had that. I wish they had that. That's so cool.
It was fun. But the last day of camp, we had like a concert with some cover band, and they were like, I can't remember if they said they were going to play Self-Esteem, but they couldn't remember the song, or if they were like, what song do you guys want to hear? And everybody said Self-Esteem by The Offspring. And then they were like, we don't know the lyrics. Who can come up here and sing? And as an adult, I totally realized it was like a confidence building exercise, right? For them to do that. That's what I figure anyway, right?
Not a humiliation thing.
Right, not a humiliation thing. Like, I fully realized, like, they knew they knew the music to play it. They obviously knew the lyrics, right?
Right.
But instead, when we picked Self-Esteem, they're like, oh, somebody's got to come up and sing.
Oh,
and nobody knew. Yeah, because it's the song Self-Esteem, right? Which, subject matter-wise, you're having a 12-year-old sing. Because I don't know if you know the song, but it's like, 3 a.m. She knocks on my door. She's drunk again and ready to score. Oh I know God. I should say no, but I ain't got no self-esteem, so I let her in and we fuck, essentially.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love that song. It's a great song. It's not terrible. It's a really good song. But I was 12 years old and I was like, I know all the lyrics. And I got up on fucking stage and I sung Self-Esteem to my whole Dare summer camp. And it was an answer to a tweet that somebody had asked about, like, what's this thing that you did that, like, you're shocked. I'm still to this day surprised that 12-year-old me was like, I know that song. But I did. I don't think I was expecting to be pulled up on stage to sing it.
Oh, and then you were, and it was like your main character moment.
Yeah. It was a character.
You're like, Joe Jonas is going to come on here and we're going to sing a duet like Camp Rock. I don't know if
I sang and so that week I tagged them twice and they followed me and I was like, holy shit, the offspring likes my offspring related things that I say. It was like when I was new to Twitter. Yeah, anyway. So, the Zeus version is where we were before we...
So Zeus, that's my favorite version because, Demeter's like, get her back right now. And he's like, I can't.
She will not be back.
Right. So he's like, I can't. And Demeter gets really upset and pissed off and to punish Zeus and everyone else, she's like, I ain't gonna make any fucking food for anybody. Yeah, and she goes away to like, I don't want to use the word mope, but to be sad, to mourn. And as she's going away, who does she come? She's like this crone, and she's mourning, and she's sad. And this nice family's like, you can stay here. And they're so nice to her, so she wants to do something nice back and bless her child.
Right, so she nurses him with her magical milks.
Right. And,
but the mom's a little... sus.
Yeah, she's like,
there's something weird.
We got some Snow White vibes going on with like this.
So she peeks around the corner one night, and what does she see? With the baby?
Demeter throwing the son of a bitch into the fire, and I guess, like you said, she had done it multiple times.
Right, it was to bless him.
Yeah, it was like, I think he needed like it to be done 3 times, and this was like the last time, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean?
You fucking crazy bitch.
You're throwing my fucking child in the fire.
Right.
And then Demeter like takes her robe off and she's like, I am the goddess floating in the air. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and the house fills with this radiant
fairy
light.
godmother style from Shrek 2.
Fucking A.
And she does end up punishing them because she's a goddess and that's what they do. Mm-hmm. And what was that?
They had to build her a temple to regain her favor. Mm-hmm. Otherwise they were going to be like, not in her favor.
It's cold and it's your fault.
Right, yeah. They're like, it's cold and we want to eat soon, so I guess we build in a temple.
Right. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, everybody knows the ending. I'm going to assume everybody knows the ending with the Persephone. And finally, Hera talks Zeus. There's an agreement. Yes. I think it's Hermes or somebody goes into the underworld to get her. I say Hermes because he's one of the only gods that can
go. He's a messenger.
Yeah, that can go to and from.
But doesn't... Hecate is involved.
Yes, Hecate. I'm sorry. Demeter talks to Hecate, and Hecate has agreed to Demeter to watch over Persephone as like a guardian while she's in the underworld. Now, Hecate is also a goddess. Well, yeah, she's a goddess that can go to and from. There's only a few that can. Hermes being one of them. Hecate.
That's why I was like, does Hecate escort her, perhaps?
Someone that can come in and out.
Because I think it would make sense for Hecate to be Persephone's escort as she travels between worlds, especially with the connection between Hecate, Demeter, and Persephone, right. As well as Hecate's role.
I like that version, so I hope so.
I hope so too. I like it.
But at that point, Persephone was starving because she'd been in there for how many months?
Right, 6 like half the year. Yeah, right.
So she had finally eaten some pomegranate seeds, 6 of them. So she had to return to the underworld 6 months out of the year.
Yeah. And the basic version that we mentioned is just kind of Hades wanted Persephone as his wife. So while she is in a field of flowers one spring or summer day, Hades comes up from the underworld and he takes her. And he takes her down with him. And then everything else pretty much plays out the way it does in the Zeus version, where Demeter wants her back. She's told, no, you can't have her back.
Right, because Persephone is Zeus's child, right? Demeter and Zeus?
Not positive on that. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Whoops-a-daisy.
I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Because, I don't know, but regardless, you know, it plays out the same way where we get the winter because of her descent, and then the deal is made where she comes back up, but since she eats the pomegranate seeds, therefore she has to come back to the underworld.
So according to Google, Persephone is Hades, is Zeus's daughter with with Demeter, but Amber's gonna look in the book.
It doesn't mention her father in any of the places that she has been mentioned. I wonder if it lists his children. No, the book does not list her father. So, you know, poor Demeter. You know what? I just feel bad that everybody's got to share Zeus, like, for that fathering thing.
Oh my God, right?
Damn. But I guess it's less weird than if she had, like, been Hades' daughter.
That would be weird.
Yeah, it would be weirder.
So, along with the topic of Persephone and Hades, we have only a few pop culture references that I can think of, which would be Lore Olympus, which is super fucking, like, popular right now, which is basically like it's almost like a modern reality TV version of Hades and Persephone and the gods. I want to read it. I'm just not a comic book manga fan. If it was in, like, word form, I'd read it 100%. It's also like a webtoon as well. It recently got printed. But I mean, I see shit about them all the time. And I love that Persephone's pink.
I love the memes.
Oh, I do too.
And Hades is blue.
I do too. And I love how the gods are like the Kardashians. It's really fucking funny to me because I just like the memes.
I think they're funny. Like that is my main experience with the Lore Olympus.
Right, are the memes. They are funny. And I would love for there to be, like we talked about the Psyche and Eros episode. I would love for there to be like a reality TV type thing for the gods, or The Office.
Yeah.
That should be so funny. Like, can you imagine them behind the scenes? Zeus is like, I don't know how to get out of this one. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, I don't know.
And then it cuts to somebody else who's just like, a motherfucker.
Oh my God, I know, right? Or like, there's a couple scenes where like Persephone's just making herself at home in the fucking underworld, and Hades is looking at the camera via like Jim. He's like,
I don't know what to do about that.
I know.
Her mom is so bad at me.
Right.
Or like Hera's being a bitch to all the girls in the office, and they're all behind the scenes like, what does she expect us to do? He's Zeus.
Right. That is so funny. I just
should be smiting folk.
I love the idea of an Office version, and I think this would be great too.
Yeah. Well, I just love the idea of a fake reality TV show of all the different pantheons having to deal with each other.
Like different paper companies on The Office.
Right.
That's so funny.
Like, it would be funny. Like, can you imagine, like, Zeus and Perun and
Zeus and Thor.
Lou and, yeah.
So my thought with Zeus and Thor was like, well, which one comes first, thunder or lightning?
Thunder precedes lightning.
Right, so, right? I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
So imagine this being like, well, lightning always comes or thunder always comes after lightning. And Zeus, and like, what the fuck does Thor have to say to that? I hate that guy.
Right. right. But like, yeah, no, I think it would be so funny because it's like in their own pantheon, they know the order of things. But Odin and Zeus and Perun and Lu, they're all like, they're kind of the same thing.
Can you imagine them
between
though,
the
like
Celtic
in like
and the Slavic and the Nordic?
A steaming, what is it called? It's
a sauna.
A sauna. They're all sitting in the sauna.
And like they start like somebody's robe flaps open because the wind, like Zephyr, the wind comes in, and they're all like, "Hey, buddy, watch it!" You know, and then like, it becomes like a size contest. Like one dude's like, "Did you see Odin's?"
Like, he's
and Zeus gets emasculated immediately.
Like, Zeus is like the interview with Zeus, and he's like, "I don't care." I don't want to talk about it.
And they're like, you know, somebody brings up the size of a swan's dick, and he's like, "One time!"
Right?
Oh, that was one time. It's bigger the rest of the time.
Oh my gosh. I love the ideas of like the Aphrodites. You got Aphrodite, and I believe it's Freya in Nordic.
Yep,
and
I don't know what the specific goddess of love would be in Slavic, but in Celtic, I don't know who it is in Celtic.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
And
I'm going to put Venus and Aphrodite are two different ones, and they're together, and they're like, I hate that bitch.
Oh my God. And they're played by twins.
Right? They're like, she always copies me. Like, I do everything first, and then she fucking, like, she
just has to have her own spin on it. Because, you know, like the Romans and the Latins, or the Romans and the Greeks, it's just slightly different.
I wore that dress yesterday.
Well, this is blue. You were wearing red.
Right? Like, the whole, like, concept. Somebody, please listen to our podcast and make this show. Make it.
Yes. Include, like, at least the 4, Nordic, Slavic, Celtic, Hellenic.
Right, and it would be
you want to throw Roman in, too. That would be funny as fuck.
And let's make it HBO, please. Let's make it adult.
Do it legit.
Yeah.
We'll do casting for you if you want.
Please. I mean, that would be so much fun.
Yeah, we'll probably even do it for real cheap, not for free.
And then the only other, like, I mean, I'm sure there are lots, because it's like a trope. Right. But the other one that really stands out to me would be like the Beauty and the Beast, which is very similar. Beauty has to go stay with the Beast. Hades being the Beast unwillingly.
He changes and he becomes human, at least in her eyes, right? And like when you mention Beauty and the Beast, I think like there is that trope in a lot of things where like she has to go to like a darker version of a person and bring him a little bit more back to humanity.
Which is so much fun in fiction.
It is.
I wish real life was like that, but it's not. You can't fix it. The cards say you can't fix him.
There is no you fixing him. There is him fixing him, and that's it.
But it's fun to imagine in Beauty and the Beast. First of all, the Beast 10 times hotter when he's the Beast versus when he turns into that.
Right? It's so weird as a 90s, 80s kid that you watched the Beauty and the Beast and you thought he was hotter as
and you're like,
the cartoon Beast.
Right?
And then he becomes a person and you're like, all right, where's Gaston?
Right? What the
Bring
fuck?
back Gaston.
I do love Gaston.
I am saying the right name.
You are. And I'm not going to lie. Gaston is one of my favorite Disney villains. I fucking love Gaston. He's so funny. He's just like so... You don't like him? I think he's so funny, dude. He's like, yeah. There's like a whole song called Gaston, and they're like, yeah, Gaston, you're so strong.
Yes, I know.
And he's like, hey,
Maleficent is my favorite Disney villain, and not because of the Angelina Jolie movie. She was my favorite growing up.
Oh, no, I totally
loved, like, this bitch could turn into a fucking dragon.
Oh, right. I don't know why
and Sleeping Beauty was my
so
favorite princess movie. Like, so...
Maybe I like Gaston so much because he's a real villain. He's one, like, I'm sorry, but, like, in high school, you got them football players.
That's why I made that face about him, because that's exactly how he is, and it rubs me.
He's so like a woman reading.
Oh, God, I hated him.
Yes, he was so bad. He's like, jeez. Yeah. She's like, no thanks, Gaston. And he's like...
Because this was also back in my day of when I'd be like, look, I'm as strong as my big brother, and I can do just like my big brother,
He's like, women have ideas.
Right, and so Gaston, I hated everything about him, so yeah. But I'm not saying he's a bad villain. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like
because he's not like the worst. He
just
real.
rubbed me so wrong.
And
yeah,
I just
he is real.
the beauty.
And at the time in my life that came out, like it's just like he was everything that I was fighting against in life. You know.
I think that's why. That's probably why they
rubs
me
wrong.
Kill the beast.
Kill the
beast. Yeah, I know.
You don't have to kill them because they're different.
Right.
They're not vampires because they have red hair and gray eyes, guys.
Well, I think.
Sorry.
I don't. The plot line of the story was like, once the last petal falls, he'll be a beast forever. Now, in the new modern version,
haven't seen it.
It's actually a really good adaptation. It's the cartoon, but adapted. You know, I wish they'd stay with that. But
it's got Hermione, right?
Yes, and she was great casting. In the newer version, which is pretty much the same version, they just added some plot line. Like, you know how like in the movie, she's like, the baker with his tray, like, oh, it's because they're literally stuck in the same fucking day. It's all part of the witch's curse. So they think she's weird because she's doing different shit every day, and they're all stuck. You know what I mean? Anyway, the point is, like, that when the last petal falls, not only is he a beast forever, but he loses his humanity.
I never picked up on...
Me either. I'm like, was it always like that, or was it just... Is that what they added? Cause
cool, I like it though.
Like, guy's like,
I'm like awestruck. I love that.
Oh, it was cool. It was cool.
It makes it make so much more sense.
When they're like, bonjour, bonjour.
Yeah,
and she's singing the song
exactly
like,
what's every
day this is what happens. They just don't know. Yeah, it's really cool. But when the last petal falls, he also loses his humanity and is a beast inside and out. I don't know.
And he's going to eat her.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was addressed in the cartoon. I was just
watching Red Riding Hood this weekend.
Oh my god! I told my husband we need to watch that.
It's got the dad from Twilight.
Yeah, I know.
Like, was his thing just being a dad in horror movies? Like once he got older.
Isn't he the werewolf?
He is. He is.
Is he bad? I can't remember. Can he remember? I can't remember.
Yeah, like, so he didn't mean to be bad. He just wanted to take his kids with him off into the woods to go be werewolves off in the woods. Mm-hmm. But it's old enough. I'm not talking about what happened.
Right, it was like 2008, over 10 years ago.
Yeah. He wanted to take his kids off with him, so he approached his oldest daughter first, because obviously she's the oldest. She's going to get her birthright first. Mm-hmm. Well, when he approached her as the wolf, she couldn't understand him. And he knew in that moment that meant the mom had cheated on him, and that wasn't his kid, and he got pissed off and he killed his daughter. And then he went and he killed the guy that his wife cheated on him with. Mm-hmm. And then the whole time he's been trying to get his other daughter to come off with him. So he wanted to just go off and be away from the village and not kill people in the village.
As well,
right, but while he was a werewolf, he lost control when he found out that his oldest daughter wasn't actually his daughter, because he had raised her to adulthood thinking she was his daughter. So he was just like super betrayed and a werewolf, so he killed her out of anger.
And don't they address the
hand thing? They absolutely do. Yeah,
because he like opens it up and it's like a hand or something, and he's like, "This was my wife."
Yep, but that's the wolf hunter. That's
and he still killed her.
Bram Stoker's Dracula. What's his name?
Van Helsing?
No, he's the guy that plays. It's not Alan Rickman. Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman is the one that's this was my wife's hand, and she was the werewolf,
and so I killed her. Yeah. And they had like the
and his kids don't know. His kids think that the werewolf killed his wife, but his wife was the werewolf.
I love that fucking. We talked about that.
We're gonna have to do a full werewolf.
Right, because that's my favorite vampire werewolf story. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's also like the cow that fucking. That shit was real. What is it called?
I don't know what you're.
The cow, the metal cow, they put him.
Oh, that they put him in the movie, the Brazen Bull.
Brazen Bull, that shit was real. People are crazy.
Yeah, but they
and
had
when they scream, it was an elephant.
Yeah, in the Red Riding Hood movie, but in ancient Hellenic times, it was a bull, and when they screamed, it came out its mouth like a bull's braying. That's why they called it the braying bull. And it's the most disgusting torture.
I had read it was in the top 5 or something.
Yeah, I'm just talking my opinion. Yeah, it's one of the most disgusting. That one, and where you actually drag somebody with a horse, when you pull them apart with a horse. No, when you drag them behind a horse that's running, so it flays their skin off with the roadway. And back then, it wasn't even paved roads. It's like just a bunch of rocks and shit. killing you.
Shout out to Achilles. That was way fucked up what you did to Hector. Like, I understand he was dead. Yeah, that was so shitty. That was so shitty. Back to the Greeks, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, damn, Achilles, that was rough.
Yeah. Drawing and quartering's pretty bad, too. I'm not saying it's not. I was going to say the dragging because
people were fucked up. People were fucked up.
Punishment was fucked up, but, like, I guess... No,
oh my god, in world history, we should do a whole, I don't know. If you don't want to, that's okay. In world history, we learned about the different punishments the Catholic Church had for witches. And one of them was they would set them on this pyramid thing.
Yeah.
And they like, their weight would slowly sink them onto
because they were mostly women, they did it with the vagina, yep.
Oh, and the peach thing or the pear thing.
Fuck me. Not like that.
Not like that.
I don't want to get fucked that way.
I'm sure there's modern interpretations that are not deadly, but oh my god.
Ooh. Sure.
Yeah, people were fucked up.
Ooh, talk about some fucked upness. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, they did some fucked up shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, and the thing. Yeah, we'd have to. Yeah,
we'd have to do. I mean, we don't have to, but I could see a whole episode on that.
Yeah, that in and of itself could be a whole episode. We'd have to watch ourselves talking shit on the Catholic Church.
Right.
It'd be hard.
Well, you did do this.
Yeah.
You did.
Pagans did some fucked up shit too. Not
oh my god, yeah, like the Romans
fucking
were
eagle,
really fucked up.
The blood eagle.
And the
Vikings,
for sure.
Yeah. The Romans too. Yep. Brazen bull, blood.
Yeah,
Yep. All of it.
They did scalp people.
Yep.
So
Yeah. All of it.
Pagans.
Super rough. We can't say that we're innocent. Just saying that we're probably gonna talk some shit if we're talking about torture.
Oh my god! Like and specifically towards witches, like
it's personal.
Drowning. It is.
Yeah, it's personal. It's personal. Yeah.
And it still happens. Actually, it's really bad in like Africa. I think.
Yeah, it does still happen in Africa.
Horrible in Africa. Oh my god.
It is still like 100% persecution.
Mm-hmm. I think also in some Latina countries as well. But
the saddest thing about persecution of witches is it's almost never a witch that gets killed.
Oh, absolutely.
It's almost always a practitioner of a Christian or local religion
that
has been singled out as a witch. Mm-hmm. And they deny that they're a witch, but because they've been accused, they're already guilty, and they wind up being punished as a witch when they never were in the first place. Mm-hmm. And most of the time when you have witch hunts, it's not witches that go down. And that's like, not saying that, if you're going to punish a witch, you find a witch to punish. But my point is, when they do a witch hunt, they almost never find witches to punish anyway. It's just people. Mm-hmm. Unpopular people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's sad.
For some reason, I got physically ill. I was like...
No, if I think about it too much, because I read on the current things that happen in Africa with the persecution, and it's really bad.
It is really bad. I think there's some Latina countries, or South American, maybe, I don't know, something around there. Third world countries.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is really bad. Like, I think that there's a whole episode we could probably do.
If we want, we could. What do you guys think? Let us know. We want to know. Would you be interested? Do you want to hear that? Is that too much for our listener base? You know, because we're going to keep it lighthearted even if we are talking about torturing witches. I know that sounds mean, but that's kind of... You make jokes about rough stuff, guys. That's how you get through it.
Right, I know. Well, I'm just over here
not to be offensive. I'm just saying, like, jokes will be made at somebody's expense.
Also,
but if it's too much, we want to know.
Right. And also, do you think that Persephone willingly stayed with Hades, or do you think Hades did kidnap her?
No, yeah. I'm curious, because I think it's a willing thing.
I personally think it's a willing thing. I think a lot of people do, but some people are traditionalists and like to...
Yeah, he was a bad guy.
Right. So if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like... Oops, excuse me, I hiccuped. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And comment if you have any opinions one way or another on the myth or about what we talked about. We might do another episode on. Just curious. Leave us a comment. All interaction helps us.
Right.
Yes. Look us up on Twitter at Classiest Witches, or check us out on Instagram at Witches Talking Tarot. And Melissa, we appreciate you as always. You help us put on a better show. You can see what we do on Patreon. Link will be down in the description.
Yes. All right.
Thank you guys. Thanks for coming to sit with us for a spell, and we will see you next time.